like 90-91. I've done a few of these, and then when the first Flash was released on DVD in 2006, of course it was a call. So it's it's a great experience. Man, the difference in San Diego between now.
Exactly, everything's different every year.
I mean, this is like unbelievable. I haven't had the Comic-Con experience at this level.
Is it true coming back to the show now, 15 years after the fact?
15, you're very kind. 24 years. That would be a quarter of a century. You're very kind.
You look young.
I know. People have asked that, but what Jeff Johns has done to the characters and the family and his whole recreation of the Ellen. When I first heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Barry's father is in prison for killing his mother wrongfully. I said, Emmett Walsh has killed Priscilla Pointer. Amy Irving is motherless. What's happened to the Flash? But I went, that's the role I want, because it's a much darker telling. So I tell people it's kind of like walking to a familiar door, and then you open the door and you're in a brand new house. I'm just seeing it. I had a fan write and say it was so surreal when you came on and yelled Barry. He said I had a strange split moment, but for me, it's all about playing Henry Allen now. In fact, it's a bit of a relief. I mean, 24 years is long enough to have been the Flash, and I can't think of a nicer, finer young man or better actor to be doing it. And I also like even the look, the way that he's more aerodynamic. It makes more sense. The whole modern sensibility. I couldn't be happier about the show.
Did they consult with you at all on ideas for the character?
Jeff met with me when they were talking to me about coming in and playing. We met at the Essex House in New York City, because I live in New York. And basically he was running, I had read the pilot, and he said, what do you think? And I mean, my God, I love the way, we showed pretty effectively, I think, for our time, what the Flash looks like to the rest of the world. What Jeff does is he comes inside and shows what the rest of the world looks like to someone who's moving at hyperspeed. And the patience of that, and not only that, but the effect of speed on the environment. I'm like, that is so smart, because you can't retell the same story. I've never really understood these movies where they go shot by shot and they reshoot the same movie. This is so not that. It has enough, because Jeff loves the story, he loves the character, and Greg Berlanti, my God. So they have enough respect not to alienate hardcore fans, but enough of an imagination to recreate it so differently, so that you have that experience. You have these characters and you go, wait a minute, wow, this is an interesting take. Because everyone, of course, said Jay Garrick. But then when I heard that the father was wrongfully imprisoned for killing Barry's mother, I was like, that's the role.
In a flash of light.
That's the role. So I couldn't be delighted.
What's it like shooting a TV show now as opposed to 24 years ago?
The thing that I noticed is they can do so much more post-production. The thing that killed us, see, we were 9 days per episode, 2 units shooting simultaneously. And they're doing this series, I think, in eight days. Our pilot took 6 weeks to shoot. Not 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we had to do all practical effects, which delighted Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, because they just wanted to blow shit up.
Who doesn't?
Let's go behind the Roosevelt Hotel and blow up a whatever. But they can do like isn't that attractive? I beg your pardon. Well, we're just going to cover that. But they can do so much, like the tornado and everything. You've seen it. I mean, when I saw it, and then I saw Andrew Kreisberg, he was like, I bet you're surprised what we can do now. I said, yeah. So I think it makes it easier on the actors. I think it makes it easier on the actors, actually, that they can, not on Grant, because nothing can make it. Listen, I asked him when I saw him, because I hadn't seen him since the pilot. I got around and said, has it gotten real yet? He said, it's gotten real. It's the wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, what have I done? This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Who do you think would actually win in a race, your Flash or Grant's Flash?
It's 2014, I would say Grant's Flash. Just look at us. I like the whole, I always said the suit was too big. It was too muscular. The guys had to be mobile. But we were coming out of the Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco. We were still sort of suffering the after effects of pumping iron. So all our superheroes had, so it reflected the sensibility of the late 80s, early 90s. Well, now we've progressed. We realize that if your thing is speed, you can't be muscle bound. So I like the look of it. I like that it's enough different. I like that it's not a reboot. It's a reimagination, And I hate using that word. Forgive me, because that's the buzzword of. I made the mistake the first time around of walking into a press room and saying, "Well, it's really about relationships," and all you guys laughed at me. So I know if I use the word reimagining, you're all going to laugh at me. But it really is. That's what it is,
So how long do you think your character is going to stay behind bars?
Well, they've got me as a recurring guest star, and I think that, as I've been told, that's the major motivation of the first season. I'm in the first 3 episodes, and I'll take it as it comes. Jeff has spun out several really cool ideas. Already by the 3rd episode, we have Henry Allen going, "What's up with you?" The audience is like, "Did he break? Does he know? Does he not know?" Because we leave Henry at a really low point in the pilot. I think I'm telling him goodbye. I think I'm setting him free to go on with his life. My backstory is I've even encouraged him to investigate paranormal activities because I want to give him a reason to go on living. His mom's dead, his dad is in prison. And then now he's a young man, and that's what I loved about that last scene of the pilot. It's like I'm setting him free. It's not going to
So you think.
change. Yeah, and then cool stuff happens, particularly in episode 3, which I'm going to shoot next week, that I actually interact with him. And
No one's around. You can tell us.
you know what I mean? I love that it walks a fine line between does Henry know, doesn't Henry. My point of view, how can you hold your son's arms, even if he isn't in a costume and vibrating, and not know it's your son? You know what I mean? But it's about not tipping the hand one way or the other. And quite frankly, I don't know. That's just my feeling about it. So I'm not giving anything away other than my musings. But anyway.
Being in prison,
Dude, thank you so much.
you.
It's good to talk to you.
Great talking to you.
Thanks. Sorry about the gum.